Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan, and I'm joined with Teresa, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for EasyLiving. We're a home care and care management agency serving the Tri-County Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. Every week, we do a weekly video series to discuss a topic kind of relevant to care management or home care services and what's going on in the world today. So, Teresa, I have a question for you. So, dealing with more on the home care side, I find it more often than not. There's always, when there's multiple siblings involved, there's always I wouldn't say sometimes there's a disagreement, but sometimes not everyone's on the same page. For example, we had one family, the daughter lived here. The son lived remotely. They were both basically the power of attorneys and healthcare surrogates for their mom. And the daughter wanted to go ahead and get some care set up, and the son didn't think that was what was the best course of action. So they were just not on the same page. And we typically find that a lot where people aren't agreeing on what the best course of action is for their loved one or their parent or their family, whatever the case may be. And how can a care manager help them? How can they help them maybe get on the same page and be able to assist and get, find that, I guess, mutual ground for them?
Ryan, this is definitely something we see a lot of in care management, and it falls under the category of family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then we get the opportunity to work with a family that all the siblings are on the same page and they are all in agreement, and it is the most wonderful client and case to work with. But that is unfortunately few and far between.
Yes.
Because, the example that you gave is more of the reality with what happens. You might have this, like in your situation that you mentioned, the son is out of town, and he and the daughter are both co-power of attorney and healthcare surrogates. So it all comes down to the language that is in that document. And this is something that we recommend our families and our clients, speak to an elder law attorney about the exact language that they need to have in their advance directives. So I was just filing some advance directives of a client, and I noticed that she has 3 sons, and one son is the primary healthcare surrogate and power of attorney. Mm-hmm. The other 2 sons, if the first son is unable or unwilling, then it falls to the second 2 sons, and it's and. So it's Ryan and Teresa. So they have to act in agreement with any decisions if they become the 2 that are making decisions. But right now I'm working with the first son. So that's the legal aspect of this whole situation. What does the, in your situation, do the documents say and, or is it and or?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where the daughter might have to go to her attorney and say, can I act? If my brother is not allowing me to do what I think is best, do I have the legal authority, or must we both be on the same page? And getting on that same page, that's where I will definitely call it the gift and the expertise of a care manager can come into play and help. Because what we can do is go in and give an objective assessment of what we see, what the needs are. And we have assessments that are presented to courts. So our assessments definitely will give an objective picture of what the client's needs are. Do they need care 24 hours a day? Do they need care, 7 days a week? It's so funny how mom and dad need someone 5 days a week. But oddly enough, Saturday and Sunday, they're just left alone to manage their medications by themselves or manage their meals by themselves. I've never yet been able to figure out situation where 5 days a week they need help, but on Saturday and Sunday they can manage everything on their own. So a care manager will go in and we'll look at all the aspects of what the care is needed, and then present that in a written report if needed. We've done it to where we'll send out a report to all the family members so they have time to review it. And really what we don't want to have to deal with, but we do, and we have, and I may have mentioned it before, where we do have to present this to the attorneys, to the courts, because now there's a lawsuit between family members. And that is such a sad situation. I can't imagine any parent thinking, oh, I want my kids to go to court over the care that I might need.
Yeah. And even though I think if one of the siblings hires you guys as a care manager, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're writing your evaluation in their favor of what their decision is. No matter who hires us, it's an unbiased, objective assessment. And you're looking at the client, not who's making the decision, I guess, at that point in time.
Exactly, because even though maybe the daughter hires us, or let's say the son hires us, our client is the person needing care.
Sure.
And we are going to focus on their needs. When we sit down and we write down our goals and our objectives, we do that from the point of the client. Not what the daughter's goals and objectives are, or the sons, or the family members, but what's in the best interest of the client themselves, the elder person that we are there to assess and to evaluate to see what kind of care that they need. Because again, that's where our area of expertise lies.
And then I think what you mentioned is that you could take that assessment and an evaluation and try to bring the whole entire family into an agreement to find some middle ground for everyone, so everyone's kind of on the same page.
Exactly. And when maybe the elderly person themselves, they're not able to voice their own opinions. And a lot of times, I mean, if you ask them, they're going to say, I want to stay here and I don't need any help. And we know that that's what they want. But in reality, that's not safe, because maybe they have a dementia that's preventing them to understand that they do really need care and they can't function independently anymore. And that's very hard. But I mean, we even had one of the care managers with our organization came up with such a creative idea when it came to getting the family on the same page. She did a survey, and it was like a monkey survey or whatever they're called. And from your loved one's perspective, what do you think for, A, B, C, and D, whatever the subject was? I think it was end of life issues and stuff like that. But what really helps the most is let's have that conversation now. Let's have that conversation. When you do your own advance directives, have that conversation with the people that you are asking to make these decisions for you, and say, this is what I want, and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely. Well, Teresa, I really appreciate your insight on that. I know, like I said, that's something that we unfortunately deal with a lot, are those family dynamics. And it's good to know that our care managers can be a great resource to ironing those out and finding a middle ground to make sure that their loved ones are taken care of at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So again, thank you so much for joining. And if anyone has any comments or questions or would like to follow up anymore, you can always leave a comment down below, or you can contact our office or visit our website. Our website's www.easylivingfl.com, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions and find out how we can help you or your family. So again, Teresa, thank you so much for joining, and thank you everyone else for joining us today also.
Thank you.